let's enter into today's satsang. In Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, Jnanakarma Sannyasa Yoga, 38th verse.
नहि ज्ञानेन सदृशं पवित्रम् इह विद्यते तत्स्वयं योगसंसिद्धः कालेनात्मनि विन्दति
Nahi jnanena sadrusham pavitramiha vidyate tatsvayam yoga samsiddhaha kalena atmani vindati. Translation: surely in this world there is nothing like experience that is more cleansing. One who is spontaneously ready for intense action in due course of time finds his self. I can say these sutras, these verses are my favorites. So beautifully Bhagavan is describing nothing like experience that is more cleansing. It is experience which is cleansing. It is experience which is awakening. It is experience which is everything. Bhagavan is using a beautiful word, one who is spontaneously ready for intense action. Please understand, in the beginning of actions, for example, when you begin the action of morning yoga, you would have never done it in your young age, but suddenly you want to start at the age of 20. Of course, for Dhyanapidam 20 is not young age. Young age means 10, 15. At the age of 20 you want to start, but after you start, within 2 days you set a mind frame, this is not for me, I can do for 10 minutes, not more than that. This is what is pattern. Spontaneously ready for intense action means somehow, by fortunately, you never get that idea. First 2 years, you simply do it for 2 hours a day. Then that becomes a pattern. Please understand, both are just your mental decision, whether to do it or not to do it. Because I am working with thousands of youngsters, I can see very clearly. I picked up a group and started working with them. They were so sincere because I am sitting there, I am also doing, without missing a single day. Now that group has again gone back to dogs. Because I am not working out with them, my time has changed. I am doing it on my own. Now that fellows have again gone back to the pattern of their old setup. That spontaneous readiness for intense action has disappeared. The spontaneous readiness for intense action is one of the greatest gift you can have in your life. I tell you, these are all inner wealth. The wealth of the inner world. Spontaneous readiness for action. What a beautiful word. Bhagavan is using the word Tatsvayam Yoga Samsiddhaha. Please do this as a homework today. You have to sit and find out. In some fields, you will be having spontaneous readiness for action. For example, driving. Suddenly you may find, even if you drive 8 hours, you are not tired. You are fresh, alive, enjoying. Sometimes suddenly you may find that same spontaneous readiness for action in walking. That is why sadhus are encouraged to do Parivrajaka Yatra, walking. I'm planning. I'm planning to go for a walk from Madurai to all our 4 temples and come back. It's a 1,000-kilometer yatra. I was earlier planning for a yatra. Now I feel it's time. I really want to do. It's long time. I walked. Walking is a very beautiful way of discovering your readiness, spontaneous readiness for action. So your mind is always afraid of action. If I tell you, do yoga heavily morning and evening, your mind will not be spontaneously ready. But if I tell you, walk as much as you can, try this, especially as a group, with a lot of entertainment, your mind discovers the readiness for spontaneous action. Spontaneous readiness for intense action is discovered by your mind by walking. If you walk for 10 days, you will suddenly discover spontaneously your readiness for intense action. Discovering the readiness for intense action is one of the greatest inner wealth you need to have for enlightenment. In Vedanta tradition, they have something called sadhana sadhushtaya, means the basic 4 things you require for enlightenment. I want to tell you, if I have to describe sadhana sadhushtaya, the basic things you require for enlightenment, I will describe this: the spontaneous readiness for intense action. Not just struggling and putting up, no, spontaneous readiness for intense action. You discover that spontaneous readiness for intense action through this kind of practices like Padayatra, Sahasranama Archanas, Laksharchanas, all Pujacharyas, the people who function with feeling connection among our orders, all Pujacharyas should do Laksharchana to train themselves for the spontaneous intense action, spontaneous readiness for intense action. All our yogis, yogacharyas should train themselves for the spontaneous readiness for intense action by this kind of long padayatras. All our jnana yogis, the people who are working through unclutching and ajapa japa, they all should prepare themselves to experience the spontaneous readiness for intense action by Purascharana, means sitting whole night and doing unclutching and ajapa japa. Try this for a month. Sit. And I did it. I did this at the age of 17 when I was in the Ramakrishna Math. My roommate is a witness. Still he comes. Today he is not here. Still he comes to the, he is in Madurai only. I'll sit on the cart with my japamala for hours, literally whole night. I'll be rolling that japamala. I'll have 2 japamalas, one in the one hand and the other in the other hand. If I finish one japamala completely, it's 108 times. Then the other mala, I'll move one bead. So by the time I finish moving this whole mala, I would have finished 108 into 108, means 10,000. Then I'll keep it and wash the hand and start again. That's the count. Then later on, when I moved with the Tibetan Buddhists only, I realized prayer wheel is 1,000 times more powerful than Japamala. That is why I recommend all our devotees to use prayer wheel. I had a prayer wheel in the young age, means when Kuppamal was training me, when Raghupati Yogi was training me, Raghupati Yogi is from Burma and Tibet. He was born and brought up in Burma and went to Tibet and stayed and came. Because of that, he taught me using only prayer wheel. But in the Ramakrishna mission, they use only Japamala. So after coming to the Ramakrishna mission, I started using Japamala. But only later on, I realized prayer wheel is 1,000 times better. So I recommend all our devotees sincerely to use prayer wheel than Japamala. In Japamala, sometimes your mind gets diverted towards counting. God is not looking at your bank account. You count your beads 1 lakh time and put it in the bank account, he appears and gives you. No. Japa is done to make it as a pattern of consciousness in you, not for counting and showing the bank balance and passbook to you, passbook to God. So I recommend all our devotees to use prayer wheel. Try to sit whole night as much as you can. Sit in the bed itself, use this prayer wheel for ajapa and sitting in a unclutched space, Ananda Gandha, with the smell of unclutching, flavor of unclutching, sitting with a prayer wheel. Just sit. I tell you, this is the way you will realize your spontaneous readiness for intense action in the field of unclutching and ajapa. Many of our devotees do not have self-confidence that they can meditate for long hours, they can perform unclutching for long hours, they can sit in unclutched space for long hours. They don't trust. It's very unfortunate. People don't trust their ability to sit unclutched. But this verse gives a clear understanding. Spontaneous readiness for intense action. I tell you, this is one of the basic requirement. Basic requirement. Actually, in every field, you should discover your spontaneous readiness for intense action. Even in business, you should discover your spontaneous readiness to sit in the office whole day. I tell you, if you discover your spontaneous readiness for intense action, you will not feel stressed. I still remember once, in 2005 or 6, I went to Microsoft. A group of Microsoft staff were sitting, I was talking. I could see the whole group, whoever was inside the hall, had capacity of the spontaneous readiness for intense action. I was shocked, oh God. Of course, in the outer world, but all of them were discovered that capacity in them. Then I thought, Bill Gates is worthy of being a richest person because he is able to make people discover their spontaneous readiness for intense action. Of course, Bill Gates uses the money, the fear and greed. I cannot use money or fear and greed. The day I discover a mass process for making human beings realize their spontaneous readiness for intense action, that will be a breakthrough for the human consciousness. Because when human beings realize their spontaneous readiness for intense action, their very standard goes up. The very standard in which they are thinking, the very standard in which they are working, the very standard in which they are functioning becomes different. It is such an unfortunate thing. Human beings start having wrong patterns and do not get trained in the young age when they need to have right patterns. Please understand, this spontaneous readiness for intense action, you should have discovered it in the young age. This will be the backbone theme of our Gurukul. This spontaneous readiness for intense action should be the backbone of our Gurukul. Our kids should be made to discover their spontaneous readiness for intense action through yoga, long hours of ajapa japa, long hours of reading and studying, trying to internalize and grasp the highest and subtle concepts like a quantum physics, Big Bang theory, parallel universe. I wanted all these theories, parallel universe, Big Bang theory, quantum physics, the most subtle part of the Vedanta, Traya Vedas, means Avastatraya, Dehatraya, Kalatraya. I want all these to be syllabus in our 7th standard of Gurukul. Because 7th standard means around 12 years. That is the time the body starts experiencing the life which can create life. The physical maturity starts. See, when the body is experiencing its capacity to create another one body, that is the time the body has to discover its spontaneous readiness for intense action. Our 7th class Gurukul kids should have all these as a syllabus. Big Bang theory, quantum physics, parallel universe, Traya Vedas, means Avastatraya, Kalatraya, Dehatraya. This Traya Vedas, all these most subtle concepts should be taught to our Gurukul kids, and intense yoga should be done, because all these will make them realize their spontaneous readiness for intense action. Please understand, all of you have it. It's not that you don't have it. But your first belief, no, I don't have, I can't, either put by somebody or created by your own. That is what is the worst crime. I can see the only difference between me and all my classmates, colleagues, who are working for 2,000 rupees still now, with a searching for a job. I know many of my classmates in the school searching for 5,000 rupee job, 2,000 rupee job, 10,000 rupee job. When I go to Thiruvannamalai, they will all queue up. I used to wonder, what is the difference between these guys and me? It's not luck, understand. You can say maybe Madurai Adinam is the luck came to me. But Dhyanapidam is not luck. Blood and sweat. I used to think, how? What is the difference between him and me? The only difference is I discovered my spontaneous readiness for intense action by the grace of Raghupati Yogi and Kuppammal. These two have inspired me and made me discover my spontaneous readiness for intense action. I bow down to Raghupati Yogi for making me do Surya Namaskar whole day. From sunrise to sunset, he will make me do Surya Namaskar. Of course, at that time I was not very grateful for him. Now I can understand. He made me discover my spontaneous readiness for intense action. I just know now. We are basically ready for intense action. Only it is our mind which puts the bondage, restriction. I wanted all our Gurukul kids to realize this spontaneous readiness for intense action. Once you realize this one truth, the readiness for spontaneous action, spontaneous readiness for intense action, you are liberated from all the curses of life. Whether it is a curse of the poverty, or curse of the internal laziness, or curse of the cunningness, curse of the perversion, anything, you are free from all the curses of life. The moment you realize the spontaneous readiness for intense action. All spiritual practices are nothing but discovering your spontaneous readiness for intense action. Why spiritual practice? Enlightenment itself is nothing but spontaneous readiness for intense action in any field. Spontaneous readiness for intense action in the body level is yoga. Spontaneous readiness for intense action in the emotion level is bhakti. Spontaneous readiness for the intense action in the mental level is unclutching. Spontaneous readiness for the intense action in the conscious level is enlightenment. Spontaneous readiness for intense action in the psychic level is siddhis. Spontaneous readiness for intense action means without even struggling. In the initial you may have to struggle to discover your original spontaneous readiness, but in few days you will discover it. Discovering the spontaneous readiness for the intense action is enlightenment itself. The moment you discover your spontaneous readiness for intense action, you realize the self, you realize the soul, you realize the ultimate. Nahi jnanena sadrusham pavitram iha vidyate tatsvayam yoga samsiddhaha kalena atmani vindati. Surely in this world there is nothing like experience that is more cleansing. One who is spontaneously ready for intense action, in due course of time finds his self. Today sit and do this as a homework in your book of art. In how many fields you already discovered the spontaneous readiness for action? Please understand, every living human being would have discovered his spontaneous readiness for intense action at least in 5 to 10 fields. And same way, every unenlightened being would not have discovered his spontaneous readiness for intense action at least in 5 to 10 fields. It means you would have discovered your spontaneous readiness at least in 5 fields. You may be struggling at least in 5 other fields. List all this and strongly decide. You will discover, even in the fields where you are struggling, your spontaneous readiness for intense action.
Paramahamsa Nityananda, a rare living incarnation, is named among the world's 100 most spiritually influential personalities today. Paramahamsa Nityananda has been placed alongside Dalai Lama, Nelson Mandela, Oprah Winfrey, Paulo Coelho and others by Mind, Body, Spirit, the world's top esoteric magazine from Watkins, London's oldest and largest bookstore. A yogi by birth, he has been expressing his power of enlightenment since birth. He has authored more than 500 books in Tamil and English. Translations of these books are available in 26 languages in Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Hindi, Sanskrit, Gujarati, Oriya, Bengali, Marathi, French, Malay, Polish, Portuguese, Italian, German, Danish, Spanish, Russian and Chinese. He is also an exemplary speaker with over 10,000 hours of profound life solutions through his discourses. Social services such as Annadan, free medical care, free educational services with ashrams, schools, temples, hospitals established in more than 140 places around the world, offering exceptional services. A powerful spiritual healer who has healed millions of people of diseases from migraine to cancer. A Kriya Yogi who has formulated Kriyas for physical health and mental well-being, benefiting thousands. A living master who offers practical solutions for our everyday problems. He is the founder and spiritual head of Nityananda Dhyanapitham, a spiritual powerhouse who has revived the sacred Vedic tradition by establishing Vedic temples in places like Los Angeles, San Jose, Seattle, Toronto, Ohio, Oklahoma, Phoenix, St. Louis, Malaysia, Brazil, Paris, Guadeloupe, Dallas, New York, New Jersey, Atlanta, Calgary, Vancouver, Singapore, and places in India like Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Tiruvannamalai. A spiritual guru for 10 million followers, an incarnation who transmits the highest spiritual energy through initiation, a contemporary yogi who has revived the Vedic science of yoga worldwide through thousands of yoga centers, an adept in Ashtamahasiddhis, mystical yogic powers, who has effortlessly awakened the Kundalini of thousands and graced them with spiritual powers, a dynamic young guru who is an inspiration for thousands of youngsters, India's most watched spiritual guru online, a beacon of spiritual light who has triumphed over the forces of religious terrorism and political persecution. Paramahamsa Nityananda is an eternal Kalpataru, blessing the world with the boons of material abundance and spiritual enlightenment. He is the 293rd Pontiff of the world's most ancient Hindu organization, Madurai Adinam.
Nityanandaya swagatam Anandanubhavaswadam Sarvaroga nivarakam Vande papa vinashaktam Nityanandaya swagatam Nityamuktam nirvikalpam Dhyanaloka pradipakam Vande shantamayam bandham Nityananda